Hey there, I'm recently back from this amazing trip to Bali, and I have so much to share. I know I've been absent for a while, but I'm ready to go and I have so much to share. But before I get on with all of the other stuff, one thing has been weighing on my heart ever since the trip because Bali itself is an amazing land. The people are wonderful people and kind and peaceful, and the temples are incredible. It is a Hindu-based land. They have tons of temples to do all different kinds of gods and goddesses, elements, and there's a purpose for every one. So one thing that has really been a downer in my experience there was the obsession by tourists to hog the spots and the vistas and the temples to simply get the perfect social media shot, the perfect Instagram shot. I mean, they even have Instagram tours, right? Go to all the spots where you can take a perfect picture for Instagram, or you do, your 10-second video or whatever for TikTok. Yeah. I will tell you that it was like a circus at a lot of those temples. Now, they have a lot of this, they'll have a portion of the temples sectioned off that you're not allowed to go in if you're a tourist, which I totally agree with. Was my temple. I would totally do the same thing because of what they're doing. But so many people they show up, they have like a gown on, they're really dressed up or whatever, and they will stand in a doorway of Vista Point, and to a point where they will take 15 or 20 minutes of 500 pictures and all kinds of poses and blocking everybody else so that there's a line of other people who are wanting to do the same thing. Forget about those of us who just wanted to walk through and maybe take a quick picture, right? And it really sort of ruins the experience. It ruins the feeling of sacredness. It ruins feeling into the temple and the purpose and the energy. And it becomes very, very shallow. Because then what happens is we put these pictures up on social media. We pretend look, that was just an instant. That was a random moment. Yeah, it took you 20 minutes and 500 shots to take that one picture. And we talk about living life to its fullest, except how is that living life to its fullest if you're not even present with where you are? That all you care about is looking perfect, to portray that as a coach or an influencer or whatever you want to call it, because it all is intertwined these days, and then have people believe that and feel bad about their own life because they're like, oh, I never look that beautiful, or I never get to go to those places. And it's like, here's the thing, how are you living life to the fullest if you're not even present with where you are? Because I will tell you, we watched. My husband and I watched a lot of this, and it was crazy. It was like Disneyland in many cases. It was like they would go from one like beautiful spot and they would go right to another one, and it would be like, then they would form this thing and they would sort of like block it off so that they could get the picture without anybody else in it, and everybody else had to wait for them, and the next people went. It was like waiting on a ride at Disney. And then what would happen is they don't stop and get present with where they are. They simply go to the next point to take more pictures. And I'm not talking about just a few. This is a vast majority of many who are there. This is the world of the digital nomad. This is the world of, social media ruling. And it's not authentic. Nor is it respectful to those places. Because I want to know, I go places because I want to know, what does this temple stand for? What is it about? What is the energy that they put forth into this temple, and what does it focus on, so that I can connect into it, because it's all energy. There was one temple I went to, and it was so bad. I was so cranky by the end of that because I couldn't find a place where I could just get away from that to just sit and be present. And that was more common than not. Guys, influencers, coaches, let's stop. That's so inauthentic. And those of you who are watching and you watch this and think, oh, my life, I wish my life was like that. I'm going to do everything I can to do that. And I'm going to just repeat what they're saying and try to do the same thing. It's losing our presence, which is really defeating the purpose of life coaching to begin with. And guess what? It's more like this. I'm in pajamas and I'm sitting here after, sweaty walk this evening, but I really wanted to do this because I've been sitting with it for a couple weeks since we've gotten back. And there's so much awesomeness to share. It's just that this is where we're losing ourselves in this social media culture. And I love social media, don't get me wrong, it helps us to connect in many ways, but there is also a downside to it. So, we're losing our presence more and more. We're losing our authenticity, if we ever had it online. And I'm going to just ask you, no matter who you are, coach, influencer, or watcher, to really invite you to really tomorrow and the next day and every day, can you take 10, 15 minutes, turn off the phone, turn off the computer, get away from the TV, away from electronics, and simply go outside and be present with where you are and find a park, find a tree, find some trees and some grass, some nature, some flowers, and just be present. Just be present with where you are right now and be completely there. Because you know what? All these pictures, all that stuff, that's not being completely there at all. That's not even being a fraction there. So, we can do better. Let's start here, okay?